All right, you're asking for it, so here it is. Listen to this.
I want you folks laughing at we partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, swinging, all that shit, dog. We sweating, getting wet, all that.
All right, welcome to the 139th episode of the Drinking Partners Podcast. This is our Fast Willie Parker episode.
Yeah.
I might have to change that because I don't like men growling after I speak. That's weird. It's our Fast Willie because listen, he came in, took the city over, took him to a championship. And that's what we're doing here, man, trying to take the city over. And he set a record, right, for longest Super Bowl run, and we're trying to set a record for longest run of straight weeks with podcasts. We just putting out content every week, man. And I'm half of your host and tan. I'm Ed Bailey. I'm joined as always with my co-host Dave Bracey. Say what up to the people.
What's good with you people? Shout out to Willie P. Shout out to Willie P. the Mayor as well. You know what I mean? Episode 50. Bagging and tagging. We are the Drinking Partners. If you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play under Drinking Partners. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play.
Find us on Google Play twice. Listen to 2 episodes since Monday.
You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. 139 episodes, man. We've been asking you. We're going to continue to ask you. Please hop on iTunes, rate and review. That's how we know what we're doing well. That's how we let others know that we're doing well. And that's how we continue to do well. So please hop on iTunes, rate and review.
Hey, you love us. You see us in public. You tell us you love us. Now, at the click of a button, just tell the internet, man. And as always, in lieu of rates and reviews, we still accept shots of Henny.
Of course.
Shout out to Car Guy DJ and the Conways for setting that trend.
Yeah. Shout out to them, man. And if you, if you leave a review, you might get your review read on the.
And listen, it don't have to be nothing spectacular, man. It could be the short and sweet reviews are effective. For example, Miss Hill 82 left a review titled "Drinking Partners" and just said "simply amazing." Do you know how great that feels?
Wow. For
a woman to tell you simply amazing.
Simply amazing.
Ladies, when your man leaves for work, you give him a kiss after he fix his tie. Kiss him on the cheek and whisper in his ear, "Simply amazing." That motherfucker gonna be. He coming home with flowers.
Yeah, he is.
Coming home with flowers and a growler.
Yeah. and Popeye's biscuits.
Popeye's biscuits, which makes them black. That's if you're dating a black man, I guess. I don't know what that
Hey, white lady, try it out. You never know. Find out something about your man.
Everybody loves Popeye's biscuits.
I didn't know you was a biscuit, man.
Everybody's a Popeye biscuit. Popeye's biscuits go with anything.
Yeah, true.
Anything.
They up there with the Red Lobster dips.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of them Red Lobster dips, man, like them, we was down at that Order Whale?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yo.
They had the crazy crag biscuits with the herbs. Shout out to them.
Yeah,
shout out to them being at District Hotel, Order Well. Get down there.
Yeah, it's a fancy affair. You know what I mean? They got like big brontosaurus ribs and aged in the window or whatever. I
didn't even know you could age ribs.
I didn't know they had brontosauruses around.
Yeah, I don't know what animal that was. So if you don't eat pork or something, don't just you got to research. Google them. Google that rib, because I don't know exactly what animal it came from.
They got that off of Fred Flintstone's, you know what I mean?
They killed that Game of Thrones dragon.
True.
Put him in a freezer.
True.
Hey, I was very impressed though, man. That was dope.
Yeah, that was a great turnout. Drinks was popping, you know what I mean? They had a nice little, setup. They had some, some clammy shit and some soups and some bisques and, all kind of crazy shit, I felt fancy.
I kind of felt fancy, but I also was in a jersey, so I was not fancy looking. I didn't know, man. I look
like a jersey and dad jeans.
I was listen, man. I asked Dave what the attire was. He said cool and relaxed. I didn't know he was in there in a blazer. If y'all ever see Dave on the podcast with a blazer, he was mad confusing. He was cool and relaxed, but he had a blazer. He had a corduroy blazer with sneakers and a fitted on it. And I was like, what the fuck, B? I don't know what I'm supposed to be wearing here.
I just happened to have something in my trunk. I showed up ready to party, and then I was like, let me go get my blazer.
But did not communicate that message to me at all. Just not at all. If somebody hit you with the dress code, they need to know. Like, that's something that they are looking for. They trying to find out. You know what I mean, but that's my fault. I should have known sleeves were probably mandatory. Sleeves were probably.
I thought you was at least gonna have sleeves. Like I was like, as long as you don't come out.
I was doing something earlier. I didn't want to go home and change. I came down. That's all right, man. Sometimes you just got to stick out like a sore thumb. And shout out to Chance Murphy. Keep Pittsburgh dope, because he made me feel at home because his knees was all the way out. So by me no sleeves and him just exposed knees, I was like, all right, I'm at least not at the most casual person. I'm at least tied at best. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, I had a fitted cap on, so I was like, I saw it. My girl was like, oh, you the only one in with a hat, and I saw another hat. I was like, oh, he got a hat on, and I saw Chance. Like, all right.
That's a glimpse into being black. Just so for you listeners who don't understand, like, when we walk into a room, we are definitely looking for the common denominator at all times.
At all times, I need that nod.
Like, okay, same wavelength. That means maybe I didn't misinterpret. Maybe somebody else was on the same shit as me, so now I'm comfortable.
Truth.
But one thing you ain't never got to worry about is our events, man. There's no dress code at ours. We got a couple coming up. We got October 19th. Hurry up and say something funny. Yeah.
We're going to be doing that down at Apis Mead. That's going to be a great show. That's that crowd work show. Man, you come down there, and it's always a good time. The Mead's cracking. There's usually a food truck outside, and it's we just crack on the crowd. Heckling is encouraged. We want this to be a back and forth thing. You know how you go to the comedy show all the time, and they're like, "Listen, man, I got the mic. Shut the fuck up. Let me do my set, and let's get through this or whatever." Now we encourage you to speak the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, and we encourage you to sit in the front row and speak the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, be as bold as you want. But Dave Sermonari's always throwing that event down there for us. And it's a great time. So you get one of the best lineups in the city. You'll be down there. I mean, me and Ed will be down there. Derek Minto, Ray Zawodny, Mike Sasson, Terry Jones, Felicia Gillespie, Alex Homiak. God damn, Dad's Mobile Grub is going to be there. Oh, that's a whole ass, like, is that a festival?
It's something like that. I don't know how Dom gets people to come out and do it. Like, he gets them lineups.
Yeah.
Man. And when Dom sends you the message, you got to respond.
Yeah. He throws out that beacon at you. Know what I mean? It's like a mic in the sky. But yeah, I mean, come down, man. It's always a great time. October 19th down at Apis Mead. Free show.
And as always, look for our Epic Night of Comedy out at Contra Theater every last Saturday of the month. So be looking out for that. Details coming through. But Dave, what you drinking on today?
Oh, man, we got some of this Hitchhiker 15th and Canal, man. This is fucking... it's Hitchhiker. If you guys know anything about,
I don't know what that is. Listen, if somebody please comment on the cast, send a tweet at us when you hear this. What the fuck is what does that mean?
I mean, Andy's down there working all the time. And he's always getting better. And I mean, this is again one of the best things I've had out of that brewery, man. They just opened up down in Sharpsburg. Shout out to Hitchhiker, supplying us with this delicious American Pale Ale, brewed with oats. It got a little bit of like a nice mouthfeel. It's kind of creamy. It's hopped in kettle with Citra and Mosaic, and dry hopped with the same. So I mean, you got all kind of floral in there, a little bitter, it's a party, man. It's a party on 15th Canal.
It is. And real quick, we got to shout out the team because we coming off of Hilltopolis, and we would not have been there if not for the Epicast team. And they're always putting on. And if you're listening to this podcast, if you're watching this live stream, if you're doing anything where you're aware of drinking partners or anything with Epicast, the quality is there, man. So if you're looking to start your own podcast, if you're looking to be mentioned on an award-winning podcast, if you just need somebody to promote your events or just get your digital audio all the way together, shout out to Epicast, man.
Yeah, man. Go to epicastnetwork.com/services, fill out the form, and tell them that the Drinking Partner sent you, man. Like, if y'all ain't watching this, and you watching this and listening at home, it's still up on Facebook, man. This fucking video is crisp as shit today.
Yeah, I feel good. Like, I got to use this for something.
Yeah. We gonna cut this up, send this out to some comedy festivals or something, man.
Send it to somebody. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do.
Yeah, these cameras is like the real deal. I'm just waiting for the automated shit. That's the next step, man. This is insane. Like we on some like extra 4K Sony. You could watch us on a curved TV right now.
Curved TV.
Yeah, I mean, put us on your curved dip.
And we here, but we here with a heavy hitter today, though.
Yeah.
Like they had to bring out the big guns for this. You know what I mean? Because he got a publication, and like we're all right. Now that's huge.
Yeah.
And we got to bring out our shit. Somebody come in, you got to show them you flex a little bit. Like, yeah, we can do a little something.
Yeah,
we're worthy. We're worthy of the interview.
And he could explain what I mean, because
I don't know, because when you said it, and it's documented on the live feed, bro. This motherfucker, his brow rose like, the fuck? He almost left the set like, nah, I ain't doing this interview. You're not gonna be asking me with a bunch of hieroglyphic questions. What the fuck is he doing? But we got Rob Soltis from Craft Pittsburgh in the building. Say what up to the people.
How's it going? Glad to be here.
Gotta say what up to the people.
Oh, what up, people?
All right. That's how we measure you as a man. We gotta know. You gotta say what up to the people.
How'd I do? Well, I mean, how'd I measure up to like?
It was good.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, top 139.
Oh,
Easily.
Perfect.
Easily. So you're in this craft scene, pretty heavy. We were out in Trogs together. That was a nice road trip, nice bonding experience. I've been fan of your mag, and like you're known around the city and the scene, and we're happy to have you on or whatever. Tell us about Craft Pittsburgh.
Oh wow, thanks. That's like quite an introduction.
Well,
you know what I mean? That's really cool. I'm glad you. Yeah, I'm just kind of. I think you're churching it up a little bit. That's all. But I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Be humble as he sits with his magazine in front of him.
Yeah, like
on an audio podcast.
Yeah, this whole thing is about you. I didn't know if you knew or not, but we're interviewing you today.
Oh. Well, that's awesome. I appreciate it, guys. I've been dropping hints to Buzzy here for like the last year. Like, what am I getting on there? What I got to do to get on this podcast? But Craft Pittsburgh. It's a print magazine. It's been around for about 7 years. I took over ownership about 3 years ago, and it went from 4 times a year and about 20 pages, and now we're up around 48, 56 pages, depending on the issue, and it comes out 6 times a year. So kind of just growing along with the local scene, trying to keep up, really.
How did you get into it?
The guy that founded the magazine was Tim Russell. He owns Maggie's Farm Distillery. Yeah. He actually started it, and I met him in a bar one night, and kind of came up in conversation that he owned a magazine. I was like, well, I'm a graphic designer, and I love beer. I need to be your graphic designer. Yeah. And he was like, okay. And, a couple weeks later, I was laying out issue number 3, and I've been there ever since. Yeah. And
that sounds like a very Tim response. Like, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right?
It's the best way to meet somebody in a bar. Yeah. Like, now I'm just going to own a magazine.
Right? And it kind of like adds to the story. Like beer magazine
makes it authentic.
In a bar, right?
Yeah. You didn't want to meet them in church and then y'all start writing about beer.
Right? Yeah.
Like,
unless your church brew works. I don't know. That might be a church.
Right? Yeah, that's acceptable.
Yeah, you know what? So like, how is it with to take over print media in this time where everything's going digital? What are some of the challenges that you face with that?
So apparently, like generalized magazines are like way down, but like niche, like something specific like this,
right?
They're still going strong, nationwide, just not locally.
You like beer, bitch? We got it,
right? Yeah. Well, you like Pittsburgh? We got it. And but the biggest challenge really is like I can't be the source of breaking news on anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got
You the king of the in-depth follow-up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because by the time I'd write about a new brewery opening, there's, Bob Batts would have wrote about it, Jason Sircone, and they all do their job. Yeah, and they do a great job at it. And I can't compete. You know what I mean? It's so, and exactly. We just kind of decided to take the deeper route, kind of more in-depth stories, and kind of just go from there. But I think,
where do you find your stories?
Just being out and about. Yeah, just hearing people talk and kind of being a part of the community and visiting brewers and talking. And most of them are they just come up in like super general conversations. And I'm like, that's the story. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for.
Well, yeah, what is the stuff that you're looking for? Like, what is it?
Yeah, like,
like you hear it and you're like, that's it.
Yeah,
that's going in.
So the example I always use is like when Voodoo came to town and opened their spot in Homestead. like everybody wrote about that. Like Voodoo's coming to town, you know, new tap room. This is going to be great, which it was. But I think the story that kind of everybody else missed was like they built that brewery on all volunteer labor. Like people gave up their Saturdays, their Sundays. They came to Homestead in a hot building and did manual labor for weeks to get this brewery open. And it was either because they love beer or they love that community. Yeah. Right? So I was like, that's the story. The volunteers are the story. So I went to, they had a private opening just for the volunteers. And I went there and I talked to all those people. Like
actually in the thick of it. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? Getting that firsthand.
I wanted their point of view and why they were doing it.
So what's the submission like? What's that like, the submission thing? So if I'm writing for Craft Pittsburgh and I'm trying to bring a story to you, do I got to bring it to a bunch of people in a room and just get judged? Like it's just Rob sitting at the edge of a table in a dark room reading my shit? Nah, bro.
It's just me. It's just me. Just me at the end of a big, long, dark table. And but yeah, it kind of goes both ways though. Like
you have a cat.
Like I either
just had the cat like
real evilly. Yeah,
entertain me.
I don't even turn the chair till like halfway through. Yeah, and only if I hear something I kind of like.
This shit in Comic Sans.
Yeah. I got one of those trap doors like Mr. Burns on The Simpsons. I just drop you out. So if I don't come up with the idea, I have like a team of like amazing writers, and they also pitch me a lot of stories. You know, it's either like I have an idea and then I, kind of go to the writer I think will be the best fit, or they just pitch me ideas, and that's always cool too. And some of those have been great, you know.
Yeah. So like the scene, it's the scene, and everybody's like, "Well, what's next?" You know, so what's next? You know, we had the bourbons, we had the sours, and now the cloudy IPA. What's next?
Everybody just says more IPAs.
More IPAs.
Yeah, that's what everybody I talk to is like. What's next in beer?
What is it about the IPA that makes it the thing that everybody wants to? Because even with like IPAs, it was hoppy and it was like this is crazy or whatever. Like it was completely different from your Budweiser. And people flock to it or whatever, but then you've had like all the you got the Germans and these sours and belt, like you got all these different styles. But people fucking love these IPAs. Like what is it about the IPA that makes it? Because it's pretty diverse.
It is, and I think that's what it is. Like within the IPA category, you can go from like super malty, almost sweet, or you can go like. It tastes like a glass of mango and pineapple juice. You know what I mean? I think it just covers so many bases. It's hard for it not to be popular. Yeah. I love my IPAs, but personally, I'm kind of on the sour train right now. And we have some great local examples of that, and I hope to see that trend kind of continue.
What are some of your favorites around the city?
Oh man, I feel like I got to be kind of neutral.
Well, who do you drink? I mean, we all drink beer. It's a community.
The brewery we probably end up the most at is Grist House. Mm-hmm. Mainly because I'm going with my wife, I'm going with my little girl, and not only do they have great beer, but it's a great spot to kind of sit on a table on the corner with the daughter, and she's not bothering anybody, and you know what I mean, and drink great beer, and they always have good food trucks. And,
they gotta go sour down there?
Yeah, I'm horrible with names, but they do. Shoot, I don't know. It'll come to me, but they do have a sour. They've been doing some. I was just there last weekend and had like an amazing IPA. Floodline. You guys have a Floodline IPA?
I haven't had the Floodline yet. No.
Yeah, I think it's been out for a while, but that was my first time having it. That was amazing.
I like that name.
Yeah, no, I was on that Fire on the Hill for a while.
Oh yeah,
oh my God, that shit is so good. Like, I mean, to be honest, it was actually like because I had it in a can, and it was weird. It was like better in the can than it was on a tap or whatever. I didn't understand like the how that worked, but it was. But I mean, both were fucking amazing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like it's a really solid IPA.
Yeah, it's they're great, and just kind of in that neck of the woods. Like if we go, we usually I'd like to stop a dry log, but they aren't open on Sundays.
Yeah.
If anybody's listening to dry log, you should really be open on Sundays.
Dads drink on Sundays.
Exactly,
we have to tell you,
right?
we drink beer on Sundays. If you're in the beer business, you need to be open on Sundays.
Yeah.
Sunday is,
Preferably when the sun's up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
we need
Like
that.
before bedtime, before I got to get home and
Before I
read
gotta start
stories.
this whole week, you know,
Yeah.
name the kids at night and all that. Like, it's funny that you mentioned that about Grist House, where you go with your wife and your child. It's like, I think that's huge with the craft scene. Like, it is family friendly. Like, you can go and enjoy what you like as a father, as a man, but it's family friendly. Like, I can have, wifey there, I can have the kids there, and it's not, they're not looking like they're out of place. Like, the
exactly.
atmosphere is
People aren't looking at you
conducive
weird.
for
Yeah.
As long as
got their kids with them.
As long as your kids is well behaved, man. I hate them crying ass loud ass kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A dog be all over the place and shit. Like, control your fucking.
Don't bring your fucking dog.
Well, I mean, they got dogs down there and shit.
Don't bring your fucking dog.
Yeah, just because you don't have a dog.
Don't bring your fucking dog. Don't turn this into something where all of a sudden now you and I going back and forth. Don't bring your fucking dog.
There's a dog friendly. Why are your kids at the brewery? I think that's weird as hell.
I can't leave my kids at home without me.
Some people want to bring them.
You went to work and your dog was at the crib. You got a whole dog friendly backyard. Your dog got a bed right
yards.
there. He don't drink fucking beer.
Fucking Millville. Yeah, like Millville cracking. Motherfuckers live on top of each other. Like,
why you got dogs there? If you ain't got a backyard,
they got a place
why the fuck you got a dog?
They got a place to take them. A brewery down the street. That's their backyard.
Nah, fam. First of all, if you got a dog, you need some fucking grass. Don't be bringing your dog. It's a hardwood floor situation. We trying to drink beer. Your dog wagging his funky ass tail. Out of here, man.
Hell,
leave your fucking dogs at home.
I don't have any other arguments because I'm not a dog person. So I don't want either, to be honest. I don't want your kids or your dog. When I come in, the first time I came into a brewery and I saw some fucking kids in there, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I wasn't used to drinking around children. That was disjarring as fuck. Yeah, no, I didn't.
All right,
but
so
it was
the first time I saw, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Ain't no excuses. We in here.
That shit is weird. Like, that's still. I don't know. Like, when I don't know when I turn up, I don't really want.
They got kids menus.
They do.
Like,
yeah.
They don't have no dog biscuits.
Yeah, I'm not really, that's cool that you guys could do that, but, my kids could stay at home. So I can actually leave my kids at home now, and I do. And I'm annoyed by your dogs and your kids. So
Asa, like from Brew Gentleman, I think had like a great theory on it. He's like, everybody's welcome as long as you're like aren't an asshole. Like, bring your kid, bring your dog, bring your friends, but if any of them are assholes, you got to get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like the general theme for everybody is just like
control your jobless animals is what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. I'm gonna try not to comment anymore because I'm gonna be painted as a dog hater. I don't dislike dogs. I just I don't communicate with dogs well. They don't say things to me. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. I don't know if you loyal. I don't know if you
say things.
I don't know if I could leave my plate on the table and go somewhere or you gonna steal the shit. Like, I don't know what you gonna try to hump my leg. Like, I've had some poor experiences with dogs, man. Like,
sounds like it.
And none of them have apologized. None of them said sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with dogs, like, and it was cool as a kid because, like, I didn't give a fuck. It was like, this is a play toy. It was like a friend. Like, yeah, we had dogs. But, like, as an adult, it's just another fucking mouth to feed. And it's hair and it's responsibility. And I don't personally get it.
I got an issue with owning pets.
I've been thinking about that as I've been older.
Like, you own
weird.
an animal, like you own it. Like, that's weird as fuck. Like, this animal is you own it. You feed it for your entertainment. Like, some people say for the camaraderie. I don't know, man. Go out and speak to a fucking
cats?
human.
Cats ain't camaraderie.
I don't fuck with cats.
They just come around when they need a pet. They need some food, and it's fuck you, and they out.
I don't understand why anybody has.
They throw up on your shit. They piss all. I mean, they piss in you. You with cats. At least with dogs, you can go out in the yard and shit or whatever. But like cats, you gotta clean it. Like, you gotta clean their litter. That is some real subservient shit. I feel like cats. Are for masochists, man. People who don't like themselves get a cat because all the cat is there is to let you know that you ain't shit and I don't need you. Because even if you die, I'm just gonna eat you and then go find another motherfucker. You know what I mean? Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just be an alley cat now. You know what I mean? Cats really don't give a fuck about you at all, and they will eat you when you die. Why would you have one?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know, man. Don't put any of this on Crab Pittsburgh. This is nothing to do with them. He's just hearing this shit's happening.
It's
the moral of the
breaking
story
news.
is
My first
Fuck a pet, get you an IPA. Fuck a PET, get an IPA. That's all you need.
How do you feel about cats at the brewery?
I don't know.
Brewery cats.
I'm going to try it out. I'm just going to
and if you
borrow
got
a cat
on a leash, fuck you.
Oh, yeah, that's
Fuck you. You got your cat on a leash. That dainty ass cat off that leash. Cat tiptoeing on the leash is weird. Talk about beer.
Oh man.
I think kids are way easier at a brewery than dogs, though. I have a dog, and I've never taken her to a brewery.
Yeah.
So, my kid doesn't care if there's like another kid over there eating something.
Yeah.
Or my dog's gonna.
Yeah, I think it depends on the age of your kid. Like, if you got a kid that's still in the crying ass stage, I feel like, maybe you just want to wait until that kid's off the teat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, until you, like, be like, what am I going to do with the baby? Like, come? Like, not be here?
Listen, I feel you. My son's just out of that, like, crying stage, and I feel more free. But
yeah,
I feel awkward when I have a small child that's going to be crying all the time. Like, I'm in the wrong here. Like, you ever see somebody we've taken our baby to the movies a couple times, and we flagrant for that.
That's a flagrant. I mean, if it's a kid's movie,
no, ain't no fucking kid. Like, the baby can go to the Kill movie. Like, everybody, you don't know what the fuck
well, see, if it's a kid's movie, then I don't care if other kids are crying and doing whatever, because I'm not there for the fucking. I'm just here for the kids.
Don't count.
I'm
taking him
but
to
if you
see Baby Driver,
if
I got a 6-month-old.
If I'm trying to watch the Avengers and you kid, I'm like, I feel a certain way.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on both sides of it. I've been the offender and the offended, and I understand the argument for both. And at the end of the day, it really comes down to, where are me and my spouse in our relationship? Do we need this night? All right, fuck you, and how you feel about this baby crying. We need this.
My relationship is more important than your $8 ticket.
You're doing this for fun. I'm doing this for survival.
Right? I'm doing this not to be on child support payments. Like, we need this. All right?
Now I feel that. All right, I can kind of see that one, but I still feel like you should bootleg that. That's a bootleg night. Bootleg and chill. You just got to get the extra fire, bud. Like, make up for it.
So let me ask you this: what was your twist before craft? Like, what were you drinking before craft beer?
Oh man.
Don't be embarrassed.
Yeah, no. If we go back to high school, probably.
Okay, hold on now. Don't indict yourself.
No, I was like 21 in the 10th.
Okay,
yeah, it was a slow learner.
Respect your publication now. Hey, you 21.
Okay. All right. Allegedly,
he's a late bloomer.
All right.
It's all right. He caught up.
Yeah. Okay. I see where you're coming from. Let's fast forward to college. College, we drank a shit ton of. You guys ever hear of Lion's Head?
Oh, yo, Lion's Head. That was like craft for me. When cause I had after IUP, we was all on Natty Ice and fucking the garbage, and like Lion's Head actually was like, this don't taste bad, and it was like $10-11 a case.
It was in Williamsport. It was $9.99 a case for bottles, and my buddies that were from like the Wilkes-Barre area, they drank it growing up, allegedly, and. And then we got to school, and they're like, "You never heard of Lion's Head?" And I don't know if they still have it. I haven't drank it in years, but there used to be like the puzzles under the caps.
Yeah,
like the word puzzles.
No, we used to play those all the time.
Yeah,
get drunk and stupid.
God, y'all connecting here.
Yeah, right.
It's
I didn't know too many people that drank that. Like, because I got out of college like around like 2004, 2005 or whatever, and like. It was cheap and it tasted fucking amazing.
Right, it wasn't bad, and it was a brewery right up the road. Still, I believe they're still family owned.
So you grew up around that area?
I grew up in the State College area, and then went to school in Williamsport, which is kind of like halfway between State College and like Wilkes-Barre area.
Williamsport, that's where the Little League World Series is.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And that's where Lion's Head is from. Is Wilkes-Barre?
Or Potts, Pittston, somewhere right around there. Wilkes-Barre, Pittston, Scranton. Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck Lion's Head is.
We got to get a case.
Yeah,
we should,
man. That's actually a case that I'm always disappointed. Like I know they went up in price or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, but it still was like it was comparable. It was delicious, and then craft hit. So like I just didn't even.
So it's not craft.
I mean, I probably fit the definition of craft beer, but they've been around forever. I mean, it's a real old brewery.
Yeah,
How does the lion head look on the label?
It's actually a cool ass fucking label, man.
Yeah.
It's like
That's
this,
gonna make
like
a big difference.
yeah, like it's like this crazy ass line, and it says Lion's Head, and his head is in the middle, and it's
It's
actually
just like one color. Like,
yeah, like it's actually
pretty
some like when you walk in with a 6-pack of that back in the day when everybody else was like still drinking like the Coors Light and shit like that, and you
What's
walk in
that?
with like a case
What's
of like
that?
Lion's Head, like that, you felt like the man, like
And nobody thought like he paid less for that than Bud Light.
exactly, like
He's
they.
still-
We've had so different upbringings. It's such a different. Me walking in high school or when I was 21 in high school or not, like if I walked in with a case of Lion's Head, nobody would know what the fuck I was bringing. So,
Yeah, no, nobody knew what the vote like this was, like I said, I was like about 22, 23 or whatever, and it was right after college or whatever, and like I said, people were still broke, but they were, we were drinking, and like I said, I get that cheap ass case and bring it in, and I'm like,
this
this
line.
guy's
He
going
got-
What's that?
He got
Oh,
the-
you haven't heard about
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Yeah, we were always the way we justified it was with the the puzzles under the caps. We were like, we're just paying $10 for the puzzles. The beer is free. That was
like how they sell weed in DC. Like
I've never bought
it's
weed in
$10
DC.
for the bag, but the weed
The
is a
weed
gift.
is free. Yeah.
kind of the same thing. Yeah,
That's a good line. I'm
I
looking at the
remember
line
that,
now.
yeah.
That line got a blowout.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's
the perm kit.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It's like a windy day.
Yeah.
yeah, he ain't mad.
I
You
wouldn't
can walk
be
in
mad
with
at
that.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
be all right with that.
Yeah, I think they might got it at the distributor down the street or whatever.
I'm sure it's around.
You know what?
Yeah.
Next time I'm in the distributor, next time I'm throwing a party, I'm getting some Lion's Head, and
Yeah.
y'all gonna like it. You know what I mean? Because it's not a bad brew at all.
No,
Like,
it's just like just a really well done pilsner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
like an American pilsner. It was
solid.
good. Yeah.
Pilsners are, I guess, those are the large domestics, right? Like the
yeah, all the American,
Yeah, and most of them
Miami
fall
lagers
in there.
and
I don't see a
pilsners
lot
and all
of
that.
craft pilsners. I have not seen a lot of those.
Yeah,
They're coming back. Well, like I believe I know I run a beer magazine, but when it comes to technical stuff, don't know a ton.
Sorry, you don't,
but
you don't have to be all things to all people.
But a
That's
lot
why
of-
you got a team.
yeah, true.
right. I got the technical guys that kind of fill me in
That's
on
why
this.
LeBron James just lost in the finals again, because you're trying to be all things on the court. Nigga, let's build a team. Let's not have a 47-year-old
That's like
small
a great
forward
metaphor for-
guarding Kevin Durant. That's not
Yeah.
going to go well. Kevin Durant lit Richard Jefferson ass up. And I don't know if you watch basketball, but I got to get this off my chest. It's been a couple months. I've been able to deal with it. He lit Richard Jefferson. I think he went like 17 for 20 on his ass. Like he lit him the fuck up, and it was bad to watch. It was like watching the Wayans brothers and watching that old lady try to cross the street, and then they helped her, and then she got hit by the bus. It's just like, God damn, Richard. Then you start podcasting about it. It's just like, yo, you got lit. You need to go practice, fam, or you need to retire.
Talking about practice.
We talk about, but we coming back though, and then fuck Melo for going to OKC. Should have came to Cleveland. But move on with your story, because I'll get into the NBA. It's my hope, man. It's my thing. Like NBA, as a Clevelander, that's my thing. That's why I hold on to sports. Like even though the Indians went to the World Series, we lost a 3-1 lead in the World Series, so we don't talk about it a lot. But the NBA, that's my thing. That's how I hold on.
Yeah.
You mean the Cleveland indigenous people?
Yeah.
I think the people on the team are Indians. I don't know what an Indian is. I don't know. The people on the team are Indians, or I don't know. We kind of got rid of Chief Wahoo, and
I don't
It's
know,
all
man. That motherfucker is still around. Like
He's on niche paraphernalia.
and he's red as fuck. Like he's red and cheesing. Like he is happy to be very
He is.
stereotyped. Like he is, man.
And you could tell management didn't want to get rid of him because they never went to an actual logo. They just put a block C,
Put a
a
C.
block C on the
They
cap.
know.
We not hiring nobody
Technically.
to replace this shit.
Technically, we ain't liable for any more of that shit. But
Not only
we
was he red skinned, he had a fucking red feather.
had
in
a
his,
red
like, that shit-
feather,
that's
and he
so
was
fucked-
cheesing hard as the just
that
like
shit was fucked up.
yeah, that's tough. The indigenous people, the Cleveland indigenous. We'll go with that. But Pilsners, yeah,
Yeah,
tell us about the
that's a great
Pilsners.
segue into the world of
That's all right.
lagers.
No, it's crazy because one of the Pilsners that I love is Killer Pills,
Oh, yeah.
Voodoo, and they're expanding into Ohio, and you can actually get Voodoo out in Cleveland nowadays.
Yeah,
So,
that's
yeah,
right
I mean,
here.
bring it back to
We
the
coming up.
Pills.
We coming up. Just don't go in with a Chief Wahoo hat on. They'll kick you out.
Yeah. So like technically there's only two kinds of beers. There's ales and there's lagers.
Yeah.
And like the Pilsner, that's a lager. It's and so is like Kolsch's, and you know, you'll see that on a menu a lot, like around town, like a good Kolsch.
Mindful fucking Kolsch's. So
yeah, did you do the one with the beets in it? Did you do the
I didn't get the beets one.
Oh,
yet.
yeah, I made one. It was like,
I don't know about the beet. Maybe the beets. I don't know, beets taste like dirt, right?
That's
the
what I
dirty
thought,
fruit
but
or the dirty thing? You know what I
but
mean?
they got a ton of sugar in them, so that made that
so
beer
it's sweetie. And
yeah, kind of gave a little sweetness to it, and it
try
made it
that.
like red. And they released it on, I think, Valentine's Day. I don't know. I might have made that
I
up.
did
but,
not have
yeah.
that. That sounds fucking delicious.
No, it sounds like something that includes beets, and I don't fuck with beets.
You don't, yeah.
I only fuck with beets with Doug. Da beets.
You're lucky. You're lucky I was here to get that reference. I spent a lot of time in front of Nickelodeon in the '90s, so
Doug's the greatest cartoon ever created. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. He's followed up. You know, a close second is Hey Arnold, but Doug's the best.
I don't know, man. Ren and Stimpy paved the way for all them little niggas, man. Like Ren and Stimpy was some wild ass shit that
Stimpy
like
didn't pave the way. For
Ren and
Doug.
Stimpy paved the way. Yo, if it wasn't for Ren and Stimpy, there would be no Doug. I'm telling you this, man. Like there was Ren and Stimpy. It fucking everything. Like your life changed. Like I was in 3rd grade when Ren and Stimpy dropped, and I had never seen anything on TV, anything like that. And I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? And everybody was like, what the fuck? And Nickelodeon blew up. And Nicktoons, that was Ren and Stimpy. They tried this crazy ass fucking cartoon. It stuck. It was Ren and Stimpy, Rugrats, and it was the first wave. It was Ren and Stimpy, Rugrats, and like there was another cartoon, and that was like the basis of it. And then Doug and all them came up. Yeah, I mean, like, but Ren and Stimpy fucking changed the landscape. Cause I'm telling you. But yeah, I mean, seniors. I mean, listen to your old seniors back in. You might have been, still in diapers back in that day, but back in my day.
Man, if you don't get the fuck out of here with this Ren and Stimpy paved the way for Doug, no, I'm not buying it. Doug was a great cartoon. Ren and Stimpy was a good cartoon. I was not a fan, but I did like French Toast Man.
Yeah, but no, Powder Toast Man. That motherfucker was Nicktoons though.
So wait, we got a couple questions from Buzzy here.
Oh.
Buzzy has a couple things. He says he asked me to tell us about your cognac story. I am a cognac connoisseur.
I know that, and so I was thinking about that, and I've
only
only
way here. That's good.
yeah, and I've only like had cognac once.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was kind of an interesting story. So when we moved into Pittsburgh, like from Center County, we moved down here. We moved in this little apartment complex, and a lot of young people. And one day there was this dude walking by, and he was walking 2 boxers, and we had a boxer, and I was like, hey, we like those dogs. You want a beer? And he came over, started hanging out. We hung out with him a couple days. And then finally one day I was like, dude, you're like big. Like, what do you do for a living? He's like, oh, I work for the Steelers. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, you like in the training department or something? He's like, no, I'm like the backup center. I was like, oh. I was like, that's cool. Like, I'm not like a sports guy or a football fan or anything. I was like, that's cool. You want another beer? And ever since that day, we've been like really good friends. So, and it's Doug Lugarski. He played center for a couple years, and he started the one Super Bowl when Pouncey got hurt. I don't know if you remember. So I was over his house.
No Steeler fan.
No, yeah, okay, yeah.
So you got to talk today about that shit.
So a couple years ago, we were over at his house, and he had a bottle of Louis XIII. You know, the big fancy like.
Yeah, well.
Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the one that.
He's on the Steelers. He can
well,
have
no,
Louis the 13th.
but
That's
you know
the,
what?
That's the dip that T. Rowe was talking about. It coming in like a crystal like thing
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. Apparently,
I'm
that's a
priced
Steeler.
out of that market.
Well,
I don't fuck
and
with
apparently
it.
it was like a gift. Like he didn't even buy it. I think it was like on like somebody at the like rookie dinner or something bought it for him, and he had it, and he didn't.
Oh, he hazed the motherfucker to get him.
I think they buy like nice bottles for everybody, so he had it sitting in his basement. And I was like, "Is that that shit's real expensive?" And he's like, "Yeah, you want a shot?" I was like, "Yeah." And I like started to go upstairs to like get a glass. He's like, "No, you got to do it right out of the bottle." I was like. So
Is that a lie?
Yeah, I don't think it is. I don't. So I came back down, and his Super Bowl helmet was sitting on his TV stand. So I just put it on and took the bottle and did a shot of it right through the like right underneath the mouth guard or the face guard of the helmet. And
You went full groupie.
yeah, I did. Right? Yeah. I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. And
You went all out. Might as well.
Wow.
Yeah, but that was my only time ever having any kind of cognac. So
That's insane. That is the absolute best way to ever do it. Like I didn't even like I
didn't know what to expect from that story, and I didn't think it was going there. I knew cognac was involved. You said you saw somebody walking 2 boxes.
yeah, then I started walking dogs. I took the long way. I did. We went on a little walk there, but it's. Doug's he's a cool dude, and
hell yeah, he let you drink fucking Louis right out the bottle. Like,
yeah, but
bottles is worth.
I'm not even sure
like,
if he really knew what it was. Like,
them bottles alone is like worth rent.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's a mortgage just for the bottle. Like, the bottle that the cognac comes in is like, because they like you take the bottle back. T was selling like you take the bottle back and like you get a deposit. Like, or you could just fill it up with more cognac. Like, so you got to buy the bottle and like you could like it's like a keg almost. Those crystal bottles are like a keg. You drop one off, you get another one or whatever. It's insane.
Turn that shit to some earrings or something.
Right? Yeah.
Going back and filling it up with $100 cognac. Fuck out of here. Give me some. Make a chandelier or something.
Right. But
or I'm gonna just keep putting regular Hennessy in it.
Yeah, that's what you do.
And let people take shots through my helmet.
I'm pretty sure that's like why there's such a market for the bottle.
I'm pretty sure that's what he's been.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. He bring a chick home from the club, be like, "Here, you want to put my helmet on? Take a shot of this Louis."
Yeah. That's a Doug story though, man. That's like
I'm about to invest in a bottle.
Just the glass.
Yeah.
I don't even want the liquor.
I can't afford this liquor. They got replicas out this bitch. Can I get off eBay? So what's next for Craft Pittsburgh magazine, man? Like how do you see it growing? Like what is who do you want to reach?
Well, the focus will always be on the print publication.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I hear this internet thing isn't going away, so I probably got to get on the whole website thing. If you ever been to my website, it's just like a link to read the magazine. So we're gonna.
You've arrived.
Yeah. So we're working on stepping that up a little bit, and then from there, I think I'd actually kind of love to expand to different regions. Do a separate magazine for
Craft Erie.
Yeah.
No, fuck Erie. No, don't call Craft Erie. I don't know, man. There's a couple breweries up there, but Erie is a tough place to live, man.
Yeah.
They're down bad up there.
I'm going to go up and check it out because I was talking to somebody that has a brewery up there.
And the breweries are very nice.
And he was like, but he was really pushing for me because he's like, I think our customer base, I think the population, the residents of Erie, I think like a magazine would go a long way in kind of building that culture. You know what I mean? Like kind of informing customers and
because most of them are like contemplating suicide. So it's like it'd be nice if they had something on the coffee table to like read. It's like there's other people that are like they drink too, and like they can go outside and meet them instead of like being afraid of fucking lake effect wind for 6 months out of the year. Like,
that'd be great. I mean, if I could have that effect on somebody's life, okay. It sounds like Erie really needs.
Talk to Brian and them from Grist House or whatever. They're from Erie.
Yeah,
they made it out. And they're happy for it. They were happy about it.
Damn.
Ask anybody. You talk to people in Erie. Nobody is like, I fucking love Erie. This is the place that I like. And everybody was like, you know what? My car broke down, and I'm just working to get out.
To all our Erie listeners. I'm from Cleveland. We got a lake in common, so I fucks with y'all.
I fucks with Erie. The brew is amazing.
You can't say what you just said and then say I fucks with Erie.
I fucks with the breweries.
No way.
I fucks with the breweries in Erie because you figure like in order for people to like want to live, they have to have a good beer. That's how Pittsburgh was, right? You look at like Pittsburgh was a drinking town for so long because it was a depressing fucking place. You worked all fucking day. It was dark half the day. So you just went to a bar and you drank through your depression until the sun came back out. And you look at and there was nothing to do but drink. And Erie's that same town. It's like it's an industrial town. They ain't got shit to do but fucking drink to get through the fucking shitty ass winter, because those winters are shitty, and you do share a lake, and that lake is fucking terrible. In the wintertime.
Well, yeah, the lake. Well, all right. So on the coast of the lake in Cleveland Park, yeah, that's just
hell yeah.
But
all of Erie's that is on that. There's no like nice parts. So like you're like, oh, I'm a little bit away from it. It's all
the water gets a little clearer as you look. You look out by the lighthouse and shit. Like you see some clear water. So I trust that the lake itself, most of the lake is clean. It's just right up on the rock and stubble is like 6-pack carriers and dead fish and shit. Like, but we're not a fishing, city.
Cleveland Beach.
We got a beach. Yeah. We made a beach.
Y'all be down there.
We got a place. We got a plot of sand. It's like sand. It's like sand in a parking lot. That's what our beach is. It's weird as fuck. Don't go to the beach in Cleveland.
That's how Braddock Beach was. It was just
Braddock Beach under a bridge. Fucking beach under the bridge. Man, if you don't
right next to the steel mill.
How could you fix your lips? How could you fix your lips to say Braddock Beach?
They be fishing.
Can't believe you. I feel like Snoop and Baby Boy. I can't believe this nigga had the audacity to come on my podcast, say Braddock Beach. Get the heat, cuz.
But Erie is a great town to drink in.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check it out. I've never really spent any time in there, so I want to go and check out all the breweries. And
Lavery. We gotta get Lavery down here, man. That's a great brew. Erie Ale Works up there. There's the Erie. What's with the rail bender?
I think.
Shit, I don't know.
Nah,
I don't even know. I honestly don't know where
there's
Erie is.
Brewery. I think is it Erie Brewery, and then like that does the rail bender or whatever, and then there's Erie Ale Works like next to it, and then they got that like a train station dip. Like there's that whole like Erie trail that you can bring down.
Yeah. And then Great Lakes always confuses me because I always think they're from Erie, but that's Cleveland.
Again,
sharing that lake.
That's that burning river.
Yeah.
It's the river.
The Elliott Ness.
Yeah.
All that shit's crap. All that's crap because it's from Cleveland.
He choked. He was at it because it's from Cleveland. God ain't wanting to even.
The Lord say no speaketh. So we got beef. So yeah, Craft Midwest would be dope. Like that expansion, and then I know for you to be able to travel to all these breweries would add value to your work. I know we were out at Trogs, and that was a hell of a
how about that trip, man? That's like I've been telling people like that's a trip we were gonna like tell our kids about. Like, like that was out of control.
I tell my son.
Yeah, I've been telling people about it, and like I don't even like the story doesn't even do it justice. Like of the experience, like it was so much to take in such a short period of time, man. Like, shout out to the Trog brothers, man.
Yeah. That was you guys did a great job with that podcast too. Like I was sitting in the back. I don't know if you noticed because you were doing your thing, but like the people that work for those dudes, like in the marketing department and stuff, like to see their faces, like as they were answering and telling some stories, like you could tell they were like talking about stuff that they'd never heard of.
Yeah,
they were like, "What? Really?"
That's what we try to do.
Yeah,
bring that real out of you. You gotta get comfortable with us. That's our whole focus. Is like get you comfortable to say some shit. That you like, damn, did I say that? I'm like, yeah, you said it.
Yeah, get me real comfortable and talk shit about Erie. That's what you're trying to do right now.
Nah, they just fucked up our whole Erie listenership. So.
They know.
We had
we
had 4 Eриans. We had 4 of the Erie Indigenous or whatever the fuck we call them. They were on the live stream. They're gone now.
The Trogs brothers, they were super cool, man. Like they were like, reserved at first. I mean, as they're the Trogs brothers. Like they got a lot of, shit going on or whatever. And man, about 20 minutes into there, we got, a little loosened up and like, and it was nice because, having the room and like having that experience beforehand, like it was actually daunting because it was it was intimidating. Like we had never been like shown up like this. Like come through, see how we living over here. We got big hops and shit. We got big machines and like
big barrels in the back. Like I felt like I should have worn like a tuxedo jacket with the long ass tail.
Was it kind of like dinner the other night? Like you wish you wouldn't have worn your jersey kind of deal?
You know what? God damn that.
Hey,
Nah, because that night again, Chance came through and his knees was out, so I was good. We was on the same level, you know. Head, shoulders, elbows. My elbows was out, his knees was out. We was good.
Yeah, but I was wondering, did you guys kind of feel like a little like after the day we had there? Did that like kind of step up the nerves? You know what I mean? Did you guys feel like you had to?
You want to perform.
Yeah,
you definitely
like
wanted
out
to
of
be
pressure,
a
I
good
guess.
cast, and then it was because of. It was a lot of people in the room too. Like here today is us and Buzzy. You know what I mean? And we're used to that. But I mean, there were people and we didn't know these people. We hadn't been introduced. It was just motherfuckers coming in. They was trying to get information on the spot, and we like, okay, so this is real. This is like a live cast, and then this is obviously one of the larger casts.
All
we
the
ever
cameras
done.
and all the entities that were in there. Like you were in there, and like Pittsburgh, and like Ryan, and like Epic. And it was all and like
That
the
room's
lights
like
and shit.
kind of almost intimidating, like this barrel.
Yeah, the
stacked,
barrel
like 30
room
feet
or whatever.
tall.
Yeah, like and it smells like it's, the whole thing is set up really for failure. I mean, honestly, it's set up for you to just like crack. If you were ever gonna crack under pressure, that was where you were gonna fucking do it. Like, and you know, we were, you know, they're like, yeah, well, you know, they're more reserved. They might not talk much, so you know, like you know, get the whatever. And like, you know, we felt that. Like, you know, I got the and that's the thing that like. I love about this podcast is that like I mean me and Ed are in it throughout the whole thing. So like you know we got into this environment and like once the you know the podcast started, me and him do our thing, and at that point it's our podcast, and then all the rest of it kind of just melts away and like whatever happens, but it's just we're gonna do what we do and about I want to say about 20 minutes in, you know they felt that same way and.
As soon as he started talking about like how burping is part of beer tasting, like I was like, "Oh, they got him."
That's what we do.
Like,
we dangle a little day out there to get you to latch on.
Yeah.
We gotta bring you to that. You know what I mean? Like Dave's gonna make you say some shit that you wasn't gonna say. You didn't plan on talking about that.
No.
Dave's gonna bring it out of you.
Truth, but then you get, I mean, Ed comes through with the poignant ass questions, and it's like, hey, but you know,
I got real questions. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like I'm really like learning.
Yeah,
this was just enjoying it. I'm like learning. Like, yes, please, no, I need to know. And Dave's like, yeah, so I belch. You know what I mean? And when I know when it starts in the navel, you know, there was a little too much suds. But if it started here, I mean, you gotta turn the nozzle down.
And I'm like looking at their faces, and I was like, oh man. Where's this gonna go? And then all of a sudden, Chris is like, "Oh yeah,
oh you took enough beer, you belching."
Yeah, I burp and
enough beer, you belching.
Yeah, and I text my brother about my burps. Like he was all about this.
Yeah, like, and it's great. Like, but like, the beauty of having like the folks that were in the room was that it was nice, like because we get to play off of those. Like, yeah, I mean, because we're comedians, and that's how we read and react with the crowd.
Yeah.
So having like the folks in there laughing and like you know giving feedback or whatever, that helped us move forward. And like, yes, everybody motherfucking belches. And you know, I had this fucking fart the one time, and I swear it was at least 30 seconds. And I wanted to call somebody.
Not an invitation to go to more shit like that.
I was mad that I couldn't call anybody. So you said, I mean, like, you know, you text somebody. I definitely texted my girl and was like, yo, you should have been here for that. And she was supportive. She was supportive of that.
Wow.
That was a love story.
My wife would like.
It's almost over.
I
can't. I don't know. Can you? Would you text your wife about
No, I'm not allowed farting in my own home.
I don't know how to
my
put that
house.
into
I can't fart in
words.
there.
I don't know how to put that
Like
into words.
if I text my wife like about my fart, she would reply with divorce papers. I'm pretty sure she just saved them on her phone to like send them.
I'm gonna have
like-
to stop short. I can't fart in my own home now. I definitely can fart.
I
in
don't
my
know.
own home. But I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna be a real man about it. I'm selective in the positioning,
Yeah.
the release, the sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll definitely fart in an area and then move out.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I
I
don't
don't-
leave the kid.
I
I
don't-
don't lead the kids away from that. You know what I mean?
You a guerrilla farter? Guerrilla warfare in your farts? Like you
just
gotta
crop dust. You just kind of
Exactly. But here's the thing: you got to fart and then start a conversation. All right. So you fart in one room and you want to start a conversation in the other room.
Those are party farts.
Yeah.
you drop it over here and be like, hey,
Oh
Chris.
yeah. It couldn't have been Ed that shit because he's talking. anything. Like,
it's not about. I'm just trying to have you avoid that whole situation because here's the thing about farting. If I do fart at home, you not gonna question me on the fucking like where the fuck y'all? I live here. Where the fuck was I supposed to go? What the fuck was I supposed to do? So now I'm mad. Now you done walked into something, so I understand why you upset. But now you questioning me about the shit, so now I'm upset. Now we both upset, and we legitimately both tight.
Yo, how many times a girl been like, "Don't fart in the bed"? I'm like, "But where am I going for? You want me to get?"
No, I don't know about that.
You want me to?
Yeah.
Yo, in the wintertime, you mean to tell me when that motherfucker? Because we don't keep the heat on. Like we keep the heat on about a good 65 tops, so the room be cold, and you done went in fucking mornings.
All black family, dog. It is absolutely.
Yo,
you
ain't even. Yeah, no, it's on. Yeah, you on 75 easy.
Yeah, like
I miss a black household, man.
Yeah, like ain't no way in the world. That's disrespectful. Me and wifey pull up in front of the crib. I unlock the door. She walk in like, oh, it's cold here. Go and look at the shit that say 65. She gonna be asking me what I'm doing with these checks. Why? What's going on? Where's the money?
Why
going?
are you working?
Where is the money going?
I love walking in the black household, man, because I take all my layers off.
Oh, it's toasty in the motherfucker.
Toasty as fuck.
Let me tell you something. Heating companies created where you can set timers on your shit. For black people, all right? That's my mom was the first person I ever see with that. Like she had a timer for her shit. Like she would, the heat would go off in the middle of the night, then come on like a half hour before she had to get up to get ready for work, and then it would go off by the time we went for school.
4:30
back on if she needs to come for lunch. Like I'm like, damn, yo.
Yeah, that was some of the more like well-to-do church ladies had that in their crib. You know what I mean? Like like ladies, and then they flaunt like, oh, just that's okay. It's gonna turn off. I'm like, oh, you're fancy over there, man.
You gotta have some fancy shit when you talking about weather conditions.
Yeah, 75 degrees. I mean, in 75-degree house, I would get up and maybe fart elsewhere. But when it's 65 degrees and the only thing between you and death is a thin layer of blankets, you know what? We just gonna have to share this. Be happy for the extra heat I'm bringing to this situation right now.
Right? Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't have to go out on the porch or anything, but she just can't hear it. That's all.
I mean, that's a respect thing.
Yeah, you ain't gotta flap it. Yeah,
we've been together like 10, 11 years. It keeps the magic. You know?
Yeah, I tense and squeeze. I ain't go front. Like I tense and I let that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to angle it out. You know what I mean?
I'm not leaving the crib at all. Like, and you not gonna question me about what the fuck I'm doing. I'm a grown ass man. All right, I pay taxes.
Yeah, but And I don't have a problem with. I'll give her that because she's like super cool with everything else. She's like, you want to leave, in the middle of the day to go do a podcast? Sure. You want to spend all night drinking? That's cool. So it's all about balance, and she kind of lets me do whatever I do, and I just don't fart in the house.
Yeah, I mean it is about balance, and part of balancing is don't bother me about shit that ain't important. Like don't come asking me why I didn't put the toilet seat down. Don't matter.
Man, you know what? If I put the toilet seat up, right? If I put the toilet seat up, and you come in and you put the toilet seat down, right? That's an even exchange. All right. Now here's the thing: when I poop, it's already down. So now that's a win for you. Now you're celebrating my poops. Remember when poops were a bad thing? Now you're celebrating my poops because that's a win for you. You know that you ain't got. Oh, look at this! It's already down for me. You must have pooped. That's awesome. You know what I mean? That is a relationship, man.
How did we get here? Where do
that was. I'm telling you, man. That's this whole seat up, seat down thing.
You need to do a cover story called "Celebrate My Poops" and talk about how beer affects the bowels.
No,
they can be your on the streets correspondent.
Celebrate the poops. That's a win-win. That's poops are a win-win.
I might say that.
I come in, it's down. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's down. I get up, it's already down. You come in, it's down. It's fucking win.
I'm going to save that for the Erie edition.
They need something. Oh, now you done brought me in. Look, I wanted to. That is a good point. Like, how come they ain't got to put the seat up?
Exactly.
Like, if you just use it, then I'm probably going to be next. Why don't you put that motherfucker up?
That's,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, see, they leave it down, and I got to pull it up. That's an even exchange.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to wifey about that tonight.
There it is.
Now, how come I come to the bathroom and the fucking toilet seat ain't always up? Then when I pee on it, you going to be mad. But you got to understand, ladies, it's not that we pee directly on the seat. Like, just shit hit and splash.
The splashes. There's some splash effects.
Now, some motherfuckers probably do pee directly on the seat. Never mind. Buzzy's talking about
I don't even know how we got here. Why are we talking about farts?
We're all committed men, and sometimes we got to get some shit off our chest. Sometime, pun intended.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes there, man. This is therapy. It's beers and therapy. You ain't know you was gonna get in there.
Nah, I didn't. Yeah, I feel like I should give you guys a copay or something, right? Like,
yo, the dude from Trogs or whatever, he came up to me afterwards. He was like, you know what? I never even thought about it that way. But I should have the right to burp in a restaurant or in a brewery. I do. Yeah, where else would I? You know what? And I explained it, and he brought his wife over. He's like, look, listen, tell her about the beers.
That did happen.
Yeah, tell him about the burps. Like, I was like, so yeah. I mean,
you guys might have started a movement.
Yeah,
like, I think we should.
I'm telling you, man, burping
Listeners, just be
and
careful.
celebrating poops.
Be careful about investing in our debauchery. Pick your battles.
Yeah, we can't be held responsible
Yeah.
for like your marriage crashing and burning.
If you got an issue with drinking parties, you can't sue either one of us directly. So you just got an issue that's just out in the world. It's just out in the atmosphere. It's like I got a problem with them. Yeah, you do, but you a grown ass person.
Yeah, we are not your role models.
We like the Charles Barkley's of this podcast and shit. I'm not a role model. Fuck sitting here drinking, talking about shit that ain't got nothing to do with your household. Yeah, it happens. You listening?
Oh shit, man. Hey, Rob, man, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me Craft Pittsburgh. Across all the social media networks. Instagram's my favorite. And then you can pick up the actual new issue.
Ooh, look at that in HD
Yeah.
on these crazy ass cams. And
7K.
You listening to it? Go on Facebook and check out the fucking mag on the crazy ass cams.
That's all over town right now. Anywhere that sells or serves good beer should have it. If not,
if they ain't in there, maybe they don't sell good beer.
Well, you know what? Hey, if it's not at your favorite bar, let me know. I'll make sure it's there.
Ooh,
Now, how
nice.
do you target where you will have these on display? Because I feel like in a doctor's office, I would like to see a craft.
Oh, that would be
yeah,
dope. Doctor's
that's not a bad
office.
idea. Yeah.
Take the kid to the dead as hell. They put that shit at the daycare or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, open up new markets. Sorry, yeah.
There you go.
When are they gonna have bus stop books, man? Like some kind, like or bus books, just like something
They
that
should
you
start
could.
with craft because you ain't drinking and driving.
Yeah,
Right.
I
On the
mean,
bus.
like,
Yeah,
Ubers,
I
get
should
in-
put them in Ubers.
Ubers, I'm saying, get an Uber,
I like that idea. Yeah, they're just like, of course, brewery, 6-pack shops, restaurants, bars, a couple hotels for out of town people to kind of check out what's going on.
That is more. Yeah.
And also First Sip Brew Box, which is like a subscription service for. It's like a beer subscription box. He sends them out for me, and they kind of go everywhere. And but if you're having trouble finding it, let me know. Let me know where you're drinking and where it should be, and we'll get it there.
All right, Dave, let them know where they can find us.
We are Drinking Partners. If you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play under Drinking Partners. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod.
Hey, we want to thank Rob Soltis for coming out, hanging out with us, blessing us with his presence and his knowledge. Make sure you check out this subscription, the latest subscription of Craft Pittsburgh. Talking about our trip to Trogs.
Yeah, this
trip
is
to
all about our
Trogs.
trip to Trogs. So if you're interested in
feel
it,
like we're
check
kind
it
of
out.
a part of this.
Yeah, you're in it. I know you guys are all over this
Yeah,
one.
we're in this motherfucker. So thank you for coming out, man. As always, Drinking Partners is the crew. Epicast is the family, and we out of here.
All right, thanks, guys.